Also, you fire away. Tell me whatever questions you've got.
Okay, go ahead, Paul.
How do we save the rainforest?
That's a very good question. What was your name?
Paul.
Paul, oh yeah, sorry, Paul. Same as me. That's a great question. How do we save the rainforest? The best way to save the rainforest is the same way we save forests in the US, and that is to create nature reserves and parks and just special spaces for trees and animals. And that is the best way that we can set aside areas for nature. And also it helps set aside areas for us as well, where we put our homes and things like that in different areas. Does that make sense, Paul?
Yep.
Okay,
good.
Thank you so much. Emily, come on up.
Hi, Emily.
Hi.
Go ahead, Emily.
What do you do as the boss?
What do I do as the boss? Well, I'm responsible for lots of different staff, and I guess it's like the headmaster in your school, right? He overlooks the school. He makes sure everyone's happy. He makes sure things are getting done, and of course, importantly, I want to make sure that we are doing what we say we're going to do, which is save rainforests and animals. So for me, the most important thing is that on a day-by-day basis, we are focusing on saving rainforests. Okay?
Awesome. Thank you, Emily.
Great.
Next up is Drake.
That's a good question. That was a tough question, Emily.
Yes, that was. Go ahead, Drake.
Which animals are still endangered and how do they survive?
Yeah, unfortunately, there's lots of animals that are endangered, and I'm really sad to say that there's more and more. It's not getting any easier. Let's put it that way, because there's still lots of rainforests being lost, and because the wild places for nature are being lost, and obviously there's elephants are suffering from poaching because people want their tusks for ivory, and lots of animals are persecuted and unfairly, and often for things that really aren't important. They're not for food; they're just for artifacts or art or little trinkets and things like that. So lots of animals are increasingly at risk of extinction. But by saving their habitat, we give them a space. And what we've learned is that when we give them a space like a home, they do really well. It's like if you've got a nice home and you've got food in the fridge, well, you're going to be happy, right? You've got food in the fridge, you've got a bed to sleep in, you're going to be happy. And it's the same for nature. When you set that forest aside, nature thrives. They do really well. They love it. And then they're not endangered. And so the key thing for us is to set aside that habitat, give them a home to live in, and then they will not be endangered and they will be happy. Okay?
Next up is Ella.
Ella. Hi, Ella.
Hi.
Speak up. Go ahead.
How many acres of land have you saved?
You might have to say that again. I didn't quite catch that. Let me just turn this up. Go ahead.
How many acres of land have you saved?
Oh, that's a very good question. Yes, we have saved over 18 million acres. Now, do you know how big an acre is? An acre is like the size of a big professional football field. American football, a big field. Bigger than an average like soccer field. It's like this huge field. That's about what 1 acre is. So we've saved over 18 million soccer fields worth of rainforest. Now let me put that in perspective. That's like 2.5 times the size of the state of Massachusetts. Or, let me see, because you're in Ohio, right?
We're in Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania, sorry. You're in Pennsylvania, so it's like, Pennsylvania, I think it's like 50 million acres, I can't remember. but it's like nearly half the size or something like that of Pennsylvania. Maybe Ryan will check up and find out how big Pennsylvania is. But it's basically a massive area. And you know why we need to protect an area that big is because lots of animals like jaguars and elephants, tigers, and birds like hornbills or the birds of paradise, they need big areas. They look for food over a big area, and they can wander for days and days and days and cross vast areas looking for their next meal or a place to live. And so that's why we need really big areas. Okay?
Olivia, you're up next.
Great, Ella. That was a great question. 18 million acres. Good.
Wow. This is Olivia.
Olivia. Hi, Olivia.
What animals did we help and what animals did we not help?
Well, you know, the thing about Rainforest Trust, the organization that you guys were really generous and helped us save lots of rainforest, is that we want to help all animals. You know, there's the big animals like the elephants and the tigers and the giraffes and orangutans, right? They're kind of cute and cuddly and we love them and everyone knows them. But, you know, we also look for creepy crawlies as well. We look to save spiders and we look to save plants and we look to save the little things, you know, frogs and lizards. All of those animals are special. They're all here on our planet together, sharing it, and they're all put here for us to look after them, right? And so it's really important that all of the animals be protected, be saved, and they all live together with us on our wonderful planet Earth, right?
Awesome, thank you.
Great. Well, and Olivia, what's your favorite animal? What animal do you like?
What about the elephant on your sticker?
Ah, that's a good sticker. Good.
Darius,
Okay.
come on up. Our next question is from Darius.
All right, Darius. All righty.
What animals do you see and help in the rainforest?
What animals do we help? Well, like I mentioned to Olivia, we try to help all animals, but there are some projects that we have at the moment that we're specifically trying to save, right? So we have a project in Southeast Asia, it's the other side of the Pacific, a long way away, and we're trying to save river dolphins. And the river dolphins depend on the rainforest because they provide all of the habitat and they protect the soils all the way around the river. Now, if the rainforest wasn't there and they were cleared, then the rivers would be covered in mud and dirty, and then the dolphins couldn't feed and they would probably die or disappear. So that's one project. Then we have a project to save animals in the Galapagos Islands of Ecuador. And there in the Galapagos, there's a giant tortoise and also some really rare birds as well we're trying to save. And then we have a project working to save a magnolia tree. I don't know if you guys know a magnolia. It's a big tree. You get them sometimes here in your gardens. We have beautiful flowers. They're a tree that you find in Pennsylvania, but there's a different type of magnolia in Colombia. And in Colombia, we try to help save that tree as well. And there's only about 20 of those trees left. Otherwise, it'll go extinct and we'll never see it again. So we're trying to do, they're the sort of species that we're working to save.
Excellent. And next up is Chloe.
All right, Chloe. Okay. Oh, I like your sticker. You got a frog, Chloe.
You can talk to him.
How much money do you make for the rainforest?
Well, we try to be as efficient as possible, and we know that when you're doing protecting forests, like in Pennsylvania, it can sometimes the land is very expensive because, of course, we use a lot of land for farmland, for agriculture, for growing vegetables and things like that, and also for housing. But in the tropics, in the rainforest, the land can be very economical, very cheap. So sometimes we're protecting an acre, an area, an area the size of a football field for just a couple of dollars. So just, the cost of what can you do for a couple of dollars? You can probably buy a nice hairbrush, or you can buy, a lollipop or ice cream or something like that, right? Some candy. For $2, we save amazing rainforest the size of a football field. So it really can go a long, long way. So that's why we're able to protect millions of acres, because when you give us support, then that really allows us to do lots and lots and save lots of animals. Okay?
Excellent, thank you.
Yes.
And I have a question myself. With the Rainforest Trust, we chose you because we saw how much money went directly to saving the rainforest as a nonprofit. So thank you for doing the work that you do and being wise with the money.
Thank you, Mr. Nolan.
And also, I have to ask, what is your favorite football team? English. I'm a Tottenham fan.
Well, that's Tottenham Hotspurs is
Yes.
a London team. While I was born in Australia, I was actually raised in London.
Okay.
I went to school near London, but I lived in a little town called Wimbledon, and Wimbledon was part of London. But so they used to have a soccer team, a Wimbledon football team. So I used to support them. But I guess my presently the team I would pick would be Crystal Palace, that you may have heard of.
Yeah.
They're local, but then of course or Fulham. They're both kind of local teams, but they probably aren't well known in the US.
Yeah, I know Fulham. Well, Clint Dempsey played for Fulham for a little while, so
Right.
so we know him. But excellent. Well, I hope we continue this partnership through the years, and this is a project that I'd like to continue for next year and many classes to come. So
Fantastic.
we thank you for taking the time to make this an authentic learning experience, and the students have been so excited for weeks for this. So thank you so much.
Great, and I really really appreciate everything you've done, guys. I really appreciate it. I've got your bookmarks here, so I've got them put them up around here. I've got some of your bookmarks here. Thank you very much.
Spider monkey.
Do these look familiar?
Oh, they're sugar gliders. Lorky, and Spider monkey.
Yeah. Do these look familiar?
Yeah.
Spider monkey and sugar gliders.
I've got them up here on my behind my desk, so I can show everybody when they come to my office. Thank you so much for doing that. I really appreciate it. And look, guys, when I was your age, I got interested in rainforests and nature. And while I didn't go to a rainforest, I didn't have a chance when I was a kid to go and travel. I just learned how amazing the animals were that lived around me, and I think it's really good that you guys watch nature programs and learn about everything. Think about the orangutans and even the creepy crawlies and fish, and all of that is really important, that you guys take time to look at the birds and the animals and the trees and everything around you, because they're really special. They keep our planet an amazing place to live in. It gives us the fresh air and the wonderful nature that we have. And you guys, I really hope you appreciate it. Okay? And thank you for your help saving it. You really made a big difference. So thank you.
Thank you,
Dr. Salaman.
Wonderful to speak to you guys. You take care.
Excellent. Thanks so much. Have a good day.
Take care. Thank you very much. All right. Bye now.
See you later. Awesome.
That was awesome.
That was cool.